What's going on, guys? Meathead Money. Thanks for stopping into the channel. Today, we're going to talk about what we are looking for this week as far as sell options here in the market. So let's jump into it. Using the Robinhood app this morning, since a lot of you guys use it. Again, you guys can click in here on the Robinhood app, click on 100 most popular. There's a list of some of the top stocks right now that are trading. So there's a lot of market cap and volume, make these stocks, good to trade options on. Now, I do have a few that I'm looking at for the week, and I got them populated up here. So let's look at Google. Again, I'm choosing these companies because I think that right now, at least price-wise, they're in a good point where if I were to get assigned the options, I would be, okay with owning this the stock. And I also think that in the long term, these companies are going to, exceed their current pricing now, and that they're going to continue to grow in the future here. So Google, I'm looking for a 1 week option. So I'm trying to find stocks as well that expire within the week. So, we get weekly premium cash in which we can basically rinse and repeat this weekly. So again, these are stocks I'm looking at. Do what's comfortable for you guys and what you want to trade, what you feel are value stocks, companies that you would want in your portfolio. So Google right now, it looks like strike pricing. I really would, anything under, really, I'd like to see this more or less under $100. That's more or less the low of the boat for me. But I do think that anything under about $125 for Google is a good buy right now. So even a strike price of $114, $113 isn't horrible. $34 premium. And let's look at the Greeks here. Okay, so we got 0.1 for delta, theta. We got 30% volatility, so it's a pretty stable stock. If we look at the trends for the week, should be into last week here. So we can see that it did take a bit of a jump up, and it was tracking around the 116. Seems to be about what it kind of bottomed out at, and it was at about $111 before it jump. So I would say that $111 would probably be the new floor price, at least at this point. And I don't think I'd really want to go too much. Yeah, so even at $10, I mean, I feel like that's pretty comfortable. 94%, $10, you're putting quite a bit of money in here for $10 for the week. So I don't know if that's necessarily the best deal. But again, I think I'd feel comfortable around this $114, $115 mark. You still get a pretty decent premium, $30 to $50. Not too bad. Let's get rid of this one. Okay, Verizon, another one I was looking at. Again, I think this stock, it has taken a bit of a hit here. We can take a look at the chart. Over the course of a few months here, it's been up and down. Look at the course of the year, it's been trending down. It's starting to kind of flatten out. And volatility wise, it's sticking around this $37 range. So it hasn't really, gotten to 38 and hasn't got quite down to 37 flat yet. So as far as, again, volatility with this, it's a pretty quote unquote safe trading stock because it's not bouncing around very much. Let's see what we got for sell puts. Okay, so $37. I'd feel comfortable with that, even $36.50. Depending on what you guys want for the premium. If we look at the Greeks here, yeah, so we're looking at 23% volatility, which is even less than Google. And again, over the past week, we haven't seen this thing even touch $37. So, at $36.50, assuming there isn't any bad news come out from Verizon, which I don't foresee. I don't believe there are any earnings call this week either. That's the other thing we want to keep an eye on because that will definitely adjust pricing. Yeah, so they actually already had their earnings call. So the next one, July 25th. So we're good on that. And right now you can see fair value is at $57. So again, speaking of intrinsic value, they are below that. So this is a good buy in my opinion. Again, a good stock to trade, low volatility. PayPal, this is another one. I think this has got some bad press here, and over the course of the year, it's really, really dropped. So it was at $98, and now we're at $60. Again, intrinsic value speaking, again, I think this is a stock that it's might bottom out here a little bit yet, but I think this is going to come back up to that, 70, potentially 80, $90 mark. Some analysts see this up to 126, and some are seeing it closer to like 90 as its fair value price. Just want to see if they have anything down here. Yeah, so they're, fair value based on this report by Morningstar, is $135. Now, there is a high uncertainty with this, but they did crush their earnings. And so PayPal is going in the right direction. Keep in mind, we're in recession here as well. We're in a bad market. And, that could be part of why they are, trending downward here too. But again, it's kind of starting to flatten out. It isn't quite as bad. But keep an eye on, this last dip was at 67 and now we are at 61. So it's still in a bearish cycle here. So it is potential that this could go down. If we look at the sell options, however, for the week, we're still looking at some pretty good premiums. And again, I think no matter where we're at right now with PayPal, I think it's a good opportunity to start buying shares of this. So even at $60, it's a $22 premium. If we go back to the last week here, so it started at, let's just start here, $67, and we're at 62. So it dropped about $5, 10%. That was over the earnings call though too. So again, I don't think this is going to move as much as it did last week. If I were to do an option on this one, like I said, any price is all right. But I would probably go around this $59, $60 ticker, just because it gives you a little less risk. And ideally, really, we want these things to expire so we can rinse and repeat. Now, the other thing, is that if we do say we get assigned this and you don't want to hold it, another option is looking at the sell call. So, right now we could turn this around, put it in a sell call. If we're looking to get rid of it, you would, if we got assigned it at say $60, and now we're selling it at 63, you're making $3. So you're making $300 off a profit. If we were to get assigned it, and you're also getting, you'd be getting a $70 premium. So that's almost a $400 swing if you were to do that, say the following week. So that's something else to look at. If you guys aren't really looking to hold this long term, you guys are really looking just to trade it. Now, again, I think PayPal is a good company. And if I, got it, I would probably do sell calls, but I would do it a little higher just because I want to hold on to it. But again, whatever you guys want to do. DraftKings, I'm not going to get fully into this, but I think this is another stock that has potential. I think this has room for growth. And if we just look at the past week, so $24 is kind of where it was tracking and ended up, now we're at 23, so about $1. We go back to these sell options here. It's loading. So $22. Again, I think it's a fair price. Volatility is a little higher because there is a little more swings in here. It's also a little on the lower side of pricing. So, as this thing moves, $1 compared to this to like say $60 or $80 stock is a lot more margin. So your volatility is going to be a little higher with that. Again, I think it's a good one to possibly look at. The one that I really got my eye on right now is Tesla. One, because the premiums are very good. There's a lot of volume. There's a lot of news on it. And, again, I'm looking at really, guys, I think $150 is really where I want to buy this. But I would also feel comfortable having this stock in, my portfolio at a little higher. I do think this is going to get well above or at least at $200 here. I do want to add this to my portfolio for a long-term hold. And I do think for sure it's going to get, $200 mark. So anything under $200, in my opinion, is a buy. I think $150 is really like a better price for Tesla. And you can see here, we do have strike prices down below $150. They are a little less than the $40 mark. And your Greeks are going to be a lot better. Volatility is still high. If we look at, last week, there are a lot of, there's a lot of movement with this stock. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is that, $166 was kind of the floor last week. Now we can already see it starting to jump, already today. So it already dropped, down to 165 here. over the course of the month and really over the year, the stock has kind of been, jumping quite a bit. Again, we're kind of in a bad market, surrounded with EV stuff. Elon's doing a lot of innovation stuff. They're trying to get with AI. So this one's moving quite a bit. Again, though, I think this is a long-term hold, in my opinion. This is one I'm looking to trade. So we can actually do a live trade here if you guys are still in this and want to stick around and watch this. So alrighty, guys. So now the premiums, basically this whole group that we just saw basically shifted. So now we can actually even get this at a lower price at still a decent premium. And that's what we're going to look to do. So I am going to do a strike price here of $157, still close to the $150 mark that I want, and $137 premium, not horrible at all. And if we look at a sell call, so let's just stick at this 157 here, go sell call. All right, guys. So even if, say $167, if we're trying to flip this, or even if we were trying to be a little more conservative, even selling at $180 strike price, you're still getting paid $50. And if you were to get assigned that, you would be looking at, what's that, 23, almost $23 on top of your 100 shares. So, I mean, that's $2,000 right there, plus whatever you get in your premium. So again, I like this because there's a lot of volume with this. People are buying it. And so if you aren't looking to hold it long-term, there's a good possibility you could probably unload it. So that being said, though, I am going to purchase this. And let's do, like I said, the 157 mark. Okay, so it's still moving. We're going to do one contract. It's going to be 100 shares. 128. And let's go to review order. So I'm agreeing to buy 100 shares of Tesla, 157.50 strike price. It's going to expire the end of this week. And we go to submit. And we're done. So now it's pending. So we'll see if that goes through. And that's it, guys. So I'll do some more follow-ups here on the end of the week. I'm going to do some more options here and pick some other stocks. If you guys like this content, smash the like button, leave a comment. If you guys want to see some more of these live trades and see exactly what I'm doing here in my portfolio, let me know. And we can dive into that in more detail. Have a good day, guys.